portrait for Amy herself, because the main brand identity of Amy is through her eye makeup, which is featured throughout the music video. But we had a lot of fun, which was good. And the good thing about it is working with an artist who was so near and a relative of Rebecca's was the fact that we could engage with the artist on a more personal level and get to know her better, which made our storyboard and our storyline more personal to her, as she allowed us to have the freedom to create this narrative however she wanted to show this girl coming out of her depression and being taken to a more positive place, which was quite a moving thing because it really links in with the title of the song called Victim of the Mind. And also the bonus one is it hasn't been released on her album yet, so we were lucky enough to...
So we got exclusive rights to making the video for it. And what was also good was that Amy had no intention to make a music video for that song. It was just one on the album that we thought, oh, that would be a really good one to make a music video for. So that it sort of worked out for everybody. It told us what we wanted, what she wanted, but pretty much after that we had all creative decisions, and that helped. And then once all the sort of coordinating everybody and getting everybody up there on the same weekend, it all sort of fitted, which worked.
Yeah, we had a smaller crew than intended. But I think having that became more intimate and also again really developed our narrative from the personal level, working with the artist, which was great because when we were off filming we got to know Amy as the person, like behind the artist who she was.
Amy behind the band sort of thing.
Which was really good and really nice just to know like about her music career and like what she's done as well, and what she wants to do in the future and develop her album and the brand identity, which was really fascinating.
And then, so I think from that, then we went on to create this final idea. And so we knew we wanted to film it in 2 parts. So we would film half of it in Amy's actual home in Reading, and then the other half would be in Brecon. Into the filming, we originally intended to have this for the Brecon shots. We intended to have quite a big crew, but due to timing, because it was actually quite a short notice when we filmed, we couldn't go because we were going to have a really good camera guy. That sort of fell through, but we did have 2 HD cameras and tripods and all of it, so it didn't phase us too much.
And also having Rebecca's uncle as well, who was with us, who's worked. Was it on the Bond?
Yeah, he used
to work on the Bond film, so it was really good. So he kind of became our own really director along with me and Rebecca.
And he helped a lot with styling a lot of the shots, and because also originally in Brecon we were going to film the interior shots as well. We chose not to use them in the end.
Because the lighting just
didn't work. It was too grainy. The shots didn't look right, and it looked a little bit like a horror film. So what we did, but what was really handy was that he showed us how to style a shot and how to make it look like it did on the screen. So then we used that throughout. So when we went to Reading and we didn't have him, we were able to still do the same things and put what we wanted into the shot. We sort of went on. We went with the storyboards that we had for both sections, and then we kind of. And then at times they'd be like, oh, actually the light looks really good here, so we'd then move the shot and we'd do something different. And I think when we got back from Brecon we had about 50 minutes of footage.
There was a lot of time just sitting on the Mac, importing it onto Final Cut Pro and looking through all the footage. Mainly, some of us, we were laughing now.
Yes. But no, it was just, it was good that we had a lot of footage actually, and a lot of the shots that we didn't plan on having originally were really good shots that we had in the end. And it did help. And having such huge amounts of footage when we went to do the second cut, it helped because they'd be like, oh, actually that shot that we didn't use originally has really helped this time. So it's all different things, and it helped a lot. And I think with the things we filmed in Reading, a lot of those shots were, oh, you know, Amy would be like, oh, actually no, maybe we should try this, and actually, you know, they worked really, really well. And
so it's good to see from our artist's point of view what she wanted as well.
Yeah, and it's good to incorporate her ideas and her you know, her creative influence on many of the things, because after, I mean, we always said afterwards, you know, you have complete rights over the video once it's made. We, you know, and
she was really impressed with like the footage that we got so far, which was really positive towards us, because we were quite worried, seeing, oh, she may not like this shot, or she may not like this shot, or she may wanted this shot, but no, she was really pleased with it, which was great.
So then so yeah, and then it just, I mean, in terms of filming, it was a great experience in terms of everything we did, and you know, we had these, it was, you know, it was sort of like a production. I mean, as much as it was in her home and on the middle of a field in the Brecon Beacons, it was always treated like a real media production, which to us it always has been. It's something that is going to be a real media product. It's not just,
we've treated it like an actual music video from day one, from July, was it?
Yes.
From July, when we actually sat down, we decided we wanted to do this, researching into similar artists and genres that can cross over. Amy's goes brand identity. So looking at iconography, looking at font types as well, which we could incorporate. Really, and also music video channels, how we have the set layout of the fonts on the side, the music video channel icon, to make it actually look like it was an actual music video on an actual music channel. We've taken this to 100% as a full actual production, which in a way was quite interesting, because we've never done music video before. But
it was something new, considering that we were both quite film orientated most of the time.
But it was really good. Right. You do good.
Yes, now we're on to editing. Do you want to start this one?
Yeah, once we uploaded our footage onto the Mac, we realised we had a lot, 50 minutes full worth of
and that was just Brecon.
Yeah, we hadn't even done any of the inside house shots. What we did is we spent a very long time, but luckily, because we filmed early in September, we were the first group to film.
We first wanted to put anything onto the
our teachers were really impressed, so they allowed us to have so much freedom and time to go through and delete unnecessary footage, which was really good. We narrowed it down to a basic first cut. We finalised it, we uploaded it onto QuickTime, and we looked back on it to see what we could improve, what we could add. We had a lot of feedback from our class, also our class teachers, telling us what they wanted and what they thought they could do. They were obviously, of course, apprehensive on the whole fact we were going through the more filmic narrative instead of the actual music video base. But we understood what we were going through. We didn't want to completely not go with Amy's idea. We wanted to incorporate that. But it was really, really good. Apart from that, and also the fact, like, going through and having people look through it, we could incorporate fast-paced editing. Like, we expanded time on some shots to show shots of our protagonist Jenny moving on from one place to another, and also shrinking time if we wanted to do that, which is really, really good.
Yeah, I think one of a few of the most powerful things, I mean, there are certain shots that we discovered throughout that were our favourite, like when Jenny walks up from the waterfall.
That's really good, and also the waterfall itself, when we moved it back in slow motion, which was really, really good. Like, we just took it as a basic shot. We were never actually intended on using it until we went back and we expanded.
It was just meant to be an establishing shot, and then because when it goes on in the music video with the leaves, which was always intended to do that with the leaves to for the moment, and then when we decided, actually they can look awesome going backwards, we also did the same thing with waterfall, and it really did. It created this whole thing, because also, you know, the song is still Victim of the Mind. It's meant to be that her mental state of depression makes her question the reality she's in.
Which is when we did the interior footage of Jenny. It was really good to use fast-paced editing to show Jenny's thought process, as she was the girl who had depression, and who was dressed in black, and Amy, like the wonderful pure white figure helping her through this. So it was really nice.
I think what was good what we did was after we'd finished editing and we showed it to different people, and there, there's a wide age group of people that we've shown it to.
Yeah.
And we and what was interesting was a lot of them did get the fact that Amy throughout the video was helping Jenny, and that Jenny is a very depressed person, and we were slightly worried at times that wouldn't come across, because it is something, you have to think a little further. But it did work, and we were really happy that the our audience got that.
Yeah. We were really happy with the outcome overall, especially the whole format. And when we did our final cut, we were really happy with what we produced, no matter what negative comments came across saying that it was basically a film compared to a music video.
Yeah.
We understand that some negative comments were like lighting was inconsistent, which was fair enough.
We did understand that for most of the point. I mean, for the whole Bracken filming, we were actually unbelievably lucky, because the entire week that we went to film it had been raining, and we thought this is going to be fun. And actually, the one day that we filmed was one of the nicest days they've had in a long time.
It was really nice.
And that helped us a lot, because actually having bright sunlight with HD cameras helps a lot.
The only downfall was because Amy was dressed all in white. When she's walking towards Jenny, she looked like a white blob going across the screen, but there was nothing we could do, because we all the shots we did it numerous times, and it always reflected that on the maps. So there was nothing we can do. And what we tried to do with the lighting, we tried to make it neutral. We tried to turn it up, turn it down. But no matter what we did, we couldn't actually progress. So in the end, we just thought, let's just focus on the main aspect and the core of our music video, and the lighting and other small issues can just come to last.
Yeah, I think the thing is, when we filmed the Reading shoot, it was after Bracken, we did realise that, you had to be very specific with the lighting. And I mean, we must have had about 30, 40 candles in Amy's house, and that helped a lot with the lighting. It did create this it's an interesting effect actually when you light things by candlelight. It gives this whole character, but also darkness to a room. It is very gothic, and it goes with what Amy's image is.
Yeah, which really reflected the whole eerie and mysteriousness of the title of the song, especially as it's the first shot as you watch the music video, and especially for us being in the actual atmosphere, it was really good.
Yeah.
Just because you felt like you were part of the whole atmosphere and the whole making.
I think the thing is, the one thing we always wanted was the music video to be something that people watch, and it's like when you watch a film. You watch it, and then when you finish, you're like, oh, I'm back in this room. And you wanted to take people, to the Brecon Beacons, into this, dark room in Reading. And I think we did that actually. I've known a lot of people that get because it's also quite a long video. We didn't want people to be bored. We wanted to create the storyline that they wanted, to visually it's nice to watch, but also storyline wise it's nice to watch.
I know us on like a personal level, we don't actually believe that a narrative base or a full music video base of the artist completely throughout defines what an actual music video is.
Yeah.
We believe as long as an audience can enjoy the visuals and the audio is matching, then that is a music video for us. It doesn't matter if it is, if the storyline doesn't make sense, or it does make sense, or it has the artist in, or the band. Just as long as our audiences ourselves can consume the core footage that we have filmed, then that's good enough for us and anyone.
I think the thing is that obviously the biggest problem that we've had after it's been, after we've had the moderation and everything, is that people believe that we, due to the mark scheme and everything else, we didn't meet the conventions. And
fair enough.
Which was, we kind of knew that anyway. But that doesn't mean that we weren't pleased with the way the video turned out. We always knew we were going to challenge the conventions that had been set. And that we wouldn't be able, in order to meet the conventions, we would have had to entirely change our storyline, and that was something that we weren't willing to do, and we understand that. And I think, when it came down to certain lighting issues, camera issues, those were things that we really, it was hard to change. But when it came to the conventions, we could have changed things to meet something else, but it wouldn't have met Amy's image. It wouldn't have been something that could have been, it is a real media product.
Yeah. Throughout the whole process, we were toing and froing, like, if we change this, what will the connotations be of that?
Yeah.
If we don't change this, then what's the outcome for our audience? It was a long, good, but hard process to go through, but I think we managed to justify our reasons why we wanted to go through the full narrative base of a music video instead of some. And hopefully our audiences, by looking back into our own research, they can realise what we've gone through, so they can take that into account before watching the music video.
Yeah.
We didn't do ancillaries.
We ain't doing ancillaries, but it's gonna be. So, as also part of our grade, we needed to make a digipack, which consisted of an album cover, an interior and exterior, and a magazine advert. So what we first off we went with was that we researched into the different ways this is done. So how different artists design their album artwork, how different labels will advertise their groups.
So the iconography of the brand itself, and also different font types and what their connotations mean, which was really, really interesting to find out ourselves, because when we were doing our actual digipack and the magazine article, it was really good to see, like, this font would reflect this and Amy's band in this light, however this one wouldn't in some ways.
And so what we did was we looked into, I think the main example that we really did focus on was the Cortinas and their recent work, and we did think about incorporating artwork and photography, but that didn't represent what the song was and what it and it didn't have many links. Well, it did have links to the music video, but it wasn't something that
what we decided to do is we sat down and we went through Amy's previous album artwork. What we found out, and also talking to Amy herself, that she uses her own creations, and she just sits there and does her own album artwork, which is really fascinating. So she uses like oil paints, some really, really fine feather pens, really fantastic.
I mean, in the minute they're going to release the new album, they're doing this whole pledge campaign, which actually finished on the 24th of March. What the pledge campaign is it's all about Amy will, you can pledge to have the new release, or you can also she'll do things like lyric sheets, t-shirts, even self-portraits, and she'll do all of this artwork, and people pay for it, and it's really, and it's something that's unique. No one else that does art the way Amy does, and it all, links to the band and everything. And meaning, in some occasions, she has had someone else design her own artwork. But whenever that happens, it's unbelievably similar to what Amy does, and it's literally taking what Amy works with.
Amy is so special and creative in her own way. We wanted to try and reflect that, so it was really nice to look at her album artwork and try and take it into our own account. So what we did, we took some certain points throughout the music video and we combined it. So the victim of the mind, we decided to use to draw a mask itself, reflecting the positive and the negative. So that would be Jenny and Amy. And also we have a rose right at the end that Amy gives to Jenny, which was really significant to prove
it's like a symbol of Jenny coming through the depression.
Rebecca did the ancillary, the promo CD, and she used basic paints and also stencil drawing beforehand. Which created for the artist a more personal level, and also reflecting that actual brand identity, also reflecting what previous album artwork they had done, which was really good. And what we decided to do is we did a number of shots, and we also used beforehand to edit it.
Oh, what pictures? That we used a mix of Photoshop and Instagram. Instagram was a very good resource to us, especially considering that originally we were going to use shots taken from when we were filming, and we used my iPhone 4 for a lot of it.
It's absolutely fascinating to see how clear, like the photo we took an image on the iPhone before of Amy just in the woods, and what was really fantastic is we actually ended up deciding maybe we should use that in the end, and it was just really, really good.
It was one of those things that we were actually, when we took all the images and stuff, we were just going to use it for ancillary, and then actually we decided, oh no, we can't really, it doesn't really work. But then we realised that it would actually be really, really good for the main video.
Really, really fun.
And that was another thing where we found these shots and brought them in.
The magazine advert was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing that because I got to research a lot of lots of album artworks, and also to find out how they advertise their gigs. So I looked in magazines such as NME, Kerrang! I don't know. Loads of different ones. So it's really fascinating to get like a whole aspect of what I could do. To make it of a more like personal level and to actually feel like it was a music magazine article, I did the original stars, like the star rating. I did some when Amy goes band website, and I found different quotes that different magazines such as The Guardian and The Independent had said about the band. Also from BBC Radio 1, when Amy had performed at Reading Fest 2 years ago, what they thought about Amy on the introducing stage. So I incorporated that within the magazine to make it actual feel like it was a magazine, instead of just saying, oh, here's our band, buy our album and go to our gigs, which is really good and really fun.
And so dealings with those, I mean, to us, they're the only part really of the whole thing that won't be actually used by Amy, just because obviously she's got her own artwork going on, because it's very much in the process of making the album and stuff at the minute. But if they were used, they do help to boost the song and the video. And it's something that really does support the music video. There is a lot of link between the ancillaries and the music video.